describing the stages in bhakti, bhajana kriya and anartha nivritti. The following verse, Trinada Pisinichena, describes the stage of bhakti nishta, steadiness. So this stage, expressed in this verse, is bhajana kriya and anartha nivritti. In order to go through these stages, sadhu sangha is essential. Once upon a time, there was a devotee. He was a Brahmin. He was living in Srirangam. Who's been to Srirangam? Yeah. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there on his tour of South India. That place is the Vaikuntha on earth. It's an island surrounded on all sides by the Kaveri river. And there's a huge gate and a wall to the city. And you go through the gate, and then there's another big gate and another big wall and another. There are 7. Because it's like Vaikuntha on earth. So just as the 4 Kumaras, when they went to Vaikuntha, they went through 6 gates, and at the 7th gate they were stopped by Jain Vijay. So in the same way, in Srirangam, when you go through the 6 gates, the last gate you come to in Jain Vijay there. Huh? So you will also be stopped if you're not wearing any clothes. So then you go inside the temple and Lord Ranganath is there. So that place, all worship is going on with a great opulence. In the morning at 4 o'clock, before Mangalartik, the temple elephant, her name is Andal, she goes to the Kaveri river and takes bath and fills up a big golden pot with water, puts on her head, and the pujaris put a big tilak on the elephant, 6 feet tall tilak. Then the elephant comes into the temple room for Mangalartik with a horse and with a cow. They're all decorated, and with a Brahmin playing a huge veena like Narad. And when it's time for Mangalartik, then the cow is there, with the butt of the cow is facing the deity, because it's considered to be very auspicious that the first thing you see in the morning is the back end of a cow. So as a service for Ranganath, the cow's lined up there for the darshan. So the cow is facing this way, the horse is there, the elephant is there, but before they open the doors, then the elephant has to blow his trumpet. So the elephant blows 3 times, and then the elephant does Dandavat Pranam.
In reality now?
Yeah. Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Vrindavan Singh came with me also recently. You can see. And the elephant gives pranam, and then they open the door, and the pot of water goes inside for the bathing, morning bathing of the deity, and the first garland from Ranganath comes out and is put on the head of the elephant. So like this every morning. So it's a very Vaikuntha mood there, right? It's like, not so, if you're in Braj mood, no need to go with an elephant to Mangalarti. So, here in this place, there was one devotee, his name was Vipra Narayana. And he had a garden. And he was very simple. Every day he was reading Bhagavad Gita, and he was growing flowers in his garden, tending the garden, and he would pick flowers and make a garland, and then send this garland to Ranganath every day. So he was doing this with great devotion. He was absorbed with love, pruning the flowers, taking out the weeds, choosing flowers, making the garland, and remembering Lord Ranganath. He was living alone. He was a brahmachari, stayed in one small hut. So one day, there was a very beautiful courtesan, and she was walking with her sakis, with her friends. She was beautifully decorated from head to toe with all the Sola Shringa and Dwadas Abharan, 16 types of cosmetics and 12 types of the ornaments. Nose ring, earring, finger rings, bracelets, armlets, waist bells, ankle bells, toe rings. Very beautiful, very fragrant. Everywhere she went, all the men were looking like this. So she was walking along with her sakis, And as they passed the garden of Vipra Narayana, he was there tending to his plants. And she was just walking past. And Vipra Narayana, he didn't look up. One of her Sakis said, "Look at that young sadhu over there. He's absorbing thoughts of God. He never looks at anything in the material world." And so, hearing this, she felt it was an insult to her beauty. She had ego. Everyone is attracted to me. Who's not attracted to me? So then she said to her friend, "I bet you I can compromise his integrity," to put it politely. So then she made a bet with her friend. They bet some money, like that. Said, "Oh, within 2 weeks, I can compromise his integrity." So the friend, no, he's a good sadhu. So then they went away. So she went home, she took off all the ornaments, everything, and then and white cloth, in a very simple white cloth, and she came back to the garden in a very humble mood. And she didn't say anything, she didn't talk to him, she didn't go near him even. She was just pulling out some weeds, taking away the dead leaves, like this. And she did this for a few days. After a few days, Vipra Narayana looked, so, "Oh, there's one lady doing seva for my Ranganath, for my Lord." So then, she approached him and said, "Oh, can you give me some seva to do?" He said, "Yes, you can dig here, and tomorrow you can pick some flowers," like this. So he engaged her in some service. So a few days went on like this. So then he was reading Bhagavad Gita. She said, "Oh Mahatma, oh Sadhu, can you explain to me the meaning of Bhagavad Gita?" He says, "Yes, why not, of course." So sit down, and he began to explain the verses of Bhagavad Gita. This went on for a few days. Then one day, it began to rain very heavily. So then, he was sitting inside his hut with the Bhagavad Gita, and he's brahmachari, so she can't come inside. She was sitting outside in the rain, and he was giving Bhagavad Gita class. Then he thought, "Oh, this is not good, this is not correct. I am inside and this lady is in the rain. All ladies you should see like mother. So it's not appropriate." So he said, "Look, you sit inside, I'll sit outside." So then she sat in the hut and he sat outside in the rain. So then the rain was coming down, his Bhagavad Gita was getting wet. He said, "This is not good, you should come inside." So then, "Oh, okay, bad weather." So then he went inside and then finished. So then,
He's brahmachari is finished.
Then afterwards that young lady, she left there and never came back. But he was in shock because his heart became so attached, very deeply attached to her. And he was crying, "Oh, where is my beloved? Where is my beloved?" But she never came back. So she went to her friend and collected the money for her from the wager. So then he was asking around, where does she live? And he found out where she lived. So then, shamelessly, he was going and knocking on her door. So she thought, "Oh, one client has come." She opened the door. "Oh, you cannot afford me, I'm sorry." And shut the door in his face and sent him away. He thought, "Oh, she's playing hard to get." He could not understand that she does not love him. Nothing. No feeling at all. Nothing. He is so innocent. So the next day he was coming and knocking. "Oh, go away from here." He was very sad. So then, after a few days, one very handsome young man came and knocked on her door. She opened the door, and he had one very beautiful golden pot. And he said, "Oh, this is for you." She saw it, she said, "Oh, this is worth a fortune. Look, come in, walk this way." Step into my office. He said, no, this payment is not for me, it's for my friend Vipra Narayana. So I said, "Oh, okay. So this is for a few months." So she kept. Then the next time Vipra Narayana, he came back and knocked on the door. And she opened the door, said, "Yes, come in." And then he realized, oh, you see, she was playing hard to get after all. So like this, he used to go and visit her, and they were enjoying sense gratification. So then after some time, the pujaris of Lord Ranganath, they came to the king and said, "Your Majesty, a thief has entered the temple and stole the golden pot of Lord Ranganath." The king said, "Send the soldiers door to door, we have to find out who's taken it." So then the soldiers of the king were going here and there, from door to door, searching people's homes. Gradually they came to the home of that courtesan. So they came in, and there they found the golden pot. And then the soldiers arrested her. They said, "Oh, you are the thief, you have stolen from Lord Ranganath." She said, No, it was not me. One young man came, I don't know his name, he came here and he gave this pot, and it was for some debt, it was some credit, actually, for that Brahmin, Vipra Narayana. So then, oh, now we know who the culprit is, who has stolen this and who is using it for payment. So then the soldiers, they went to the ashram of Vipra Narayana, and without any questions they arrested him and they threw him in the jail. So now he was in the jail and he was thinking, what happened in my life? I was chanting every day. I was serving Thakurji, making garlands. I was relishing the nectar of the sweet words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And now my consciousness became contaminated. I came onto the bodily platform, and like a dog and hog, I was enjoying sense gratification. And now look, I am in jail. My whole life is ruined. And he was cursing himself again and again. Nirved, Atmaninda. He was criticizing himself again and again. So then, some time passed. And then, in the dream of the king, Lord Ranganath came to him and said, "Oh, that Vipra Narayana, you should release him. He is innocent. He did not steal anything. I myself, I gave this golden pot." So that young man who had come and given the pot to the courtesan, it was Ranganath himself. So then the king sent the soldiers and released Vipra Narayana. And he came back to his ashram and he was weeping, he was crying. He said, "What is this? My Lord is so kind. My Lord is so merciful. I was serving him. But even not serving him perfectly, even making mistakes, even being inattentive, even I lost the path of spiritual life. But still he was merciful to me. He actually came himself to pay for my sense gratification. How kind is my Lord?" Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, "Apichet sudaracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak savareva samantavya samyak vyavahito hi sada." He was remembering this verse of Bhagavad Gita and weeping. He thought, what can I do? My consciousness has become contaminated. How can I purify myself? And then he was inspired within his heart. The only means of purification is to serve the feet of the Vaishnavas. So then, in addition to his service in the garden and making garlands, he used to watch the pilgrims coming, and he would watch out for Vaishnavas who were arriving in Srirangam, and then he would come and give pranam to them, offer them a seat, wash their feet, arrange their prasadam, give them massage, arrange for them to stay, and all things he tried to serve all the devotees. And because of this, he was given the name Bhaktangri Renu. Before Ramanujacharya, there are many great Vaishnavas in that sampradaya, they're called the Alvas. And among the Alvas, he's one of the prominent Alvas. Bhaktangri Renu. It means the servant of the dust of the Vaishnavas. In the local language of the Kannada, his name is Tondaradipuri. So, then the news came also to that courtesan. And then she became full of regret, full of repentance. Alas, what did I do? This was a very wonderful person trying to serve Krishna. And I tried to deviate him from the path of spiritual life. I have made a great offense. But Ranganath is so kind. He saved him. And remembering the mercy of the Lord, she began to weep. And she also gave up all of her worldly activities and took shelter of the practice of pure bhakti. She also became a saint. So this is the entrance into spiritual life.